Saudi Arabia is, in some ways, in a kind of war with Yemen. Why hasn't this mattered more?
Well, I think from the standpoint of the oil markets, I've been amazed that we've had multiple, ballistic missiles fired from Yemen into Saudi Arabia, and the market shrugs that off. For me, one of the big geopolitical stories for this year is to really watch what happens in Yemen. If one of those missiles hits a civilian target in Saudi Arabia, the entire region will be on a war footing. So I think that is a real risk, but the market's not going to do anything about it until it materializes. But the Saudi government is very, very focused on confronting Iran this year. So that is one of the backdrops for why we're concerned that oil prices could move higher based on geopolitics.
U.S. Permian, U.S. Bakken, U.S. Eagle Ford, they have seen production growth over the last couple of years. Rig counts are going up, off their lows. They collapsed, and they're on their way back up. I've reported and I've talked about how some of the people that I've met out there are saying they're having trouble finding workers. Truck drivers are in short demand. Do you think the U.S. resurgence is coming not to an end, but maybe like a peak in the short term? Because you don't have people, you don't have a business.
We are still very constructive on U.S. production, especially in this price environment for this year. But again, it's against a backdrop of a very, very healthy demand picture. If you're looking at 1.4 million, 1.5 million or higher levels of global demand, and you have Venezuelan production coming off, even if the U.S. hits a million, the market can still absorb that. In fact, there's a case to be made that the market may need every last barrel coming out of the U.S. if OPEC decides to see this deal through for the full year.
Bottom line, you're bullish on oil?
We're constructive on oil. We basically think the floor has risen. And if we do move lower, we think that's a buying opportunity. We think the fundamental picture is very constructive.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.